Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Minister of External Affairs, His Excellency Dr. Jayashankar, distinguished colleague ministers, cabinet ministers, delegates, ladies and gentlemen. We are here today because we care about the Indian Ocean. We seek to uphold international law and protect the health and wealth of the ocean. We care deeply about the ocean because it is home for nearly 2 billion people. And we care about it because the center of gravity of the world politics is shifting towards the Indian Ocean. It is the axis around which global trade revolves. The most important trade routes connecting the Far East with Europe and the United States and the emerging economies of the Americas go through the Indian Ocean. Nearly 100,000 ships pass through these waters every year. Over 32 million barrels of crude oil and petroleum, which is more than 50% of the world's maritime oil trade, pass through the Indian Ocean every day. These numbers suggest that the Indian Ocean is increasingly becoming the nerve center of global trade and commerce. Therefore, maintaining stability and peace in the Indian Ocean region has never been more important. Any instability here has the potential to choke the hungry, rising economies of this region and beyond. Countries such as the Maldives can and should play a key role in maintaining stability, especially in combating non-traditional challenges in the Indian Ocean. There are strong reasons for the Maldives to remain a strong partner in maintaining order and overcoming the challenges to the order. And I will mention just a couple of reasons. The first is our geographic location. Having equidistance with Indonesia to the east and with Somalia to the west, the Maldives lies right in the center of the Indian Ocean. Today, the major sea lines of communication from the Straits of Hormuz that links the Arabian Gulf to the Arabian Sea to the Straits of Malacca that connects the Indian Ocean to the South China Sea goes through the 8th degree channel between Maldives and India. Every monsoon winds that goes across the Indian Ocean, therefore, will have a bit of Maldivian air. It would reach every Maldivian every day. Second, there's a mutual dependency between the Maldives and the Indian Ocean. Our ability to remain a resilient and prosperous nation depends on the stability and peace of the Indian Ocean. For Indian Ocean is and always will be a source of sustenance, a source of security, a source of identity for the Maldives. For centuries, Maldivian donis, powered by the monsoon winds, sailed to the north, east, and the west of the Indian Ocean, carrying coconuts from our coconut palms, coir hand spun from our coconut husks, fish from our oceans, and cowries from our reefs, bringing back knowledge and goods that help to foster a uniquely distinct civilization in these islands. The fish from these oceans form the basis of Maldivian diet. The beauty and the abundance of our coral reefs form the backbone of our tourism industry, which indirectly contributes nearly 60% of our GDP. We are seafarers. We are children of the sea. We are a nation of 1,000 islands. This is our identity. This identity forms the basis of our culture and our traditions. Historically, Arabian traders, Southeast Asian merchants, and South Asian travelers made first landfall in the Maldives or replenished their wares on these hospitable shores. The winds of change that blew through the South Asian continent impacted the lives of these islands. Therefore, any change, be it geological, geopolitical, or geo-economical, will have a magnifying impact on the Maldives. Similarly, any instability in the Maldives will negatively affect the peace and stability of the Indian Ocean. It is the acceptance of these realities that formed the basis of President Ibrahim Mohamed Saleh's vision that places the Indian Ocean at the core of the country's foreign policy. The government's foreign policy seeks to cultivate healthy, mutually beneficial partnerships with our neighbors and promote peace and security in the Indian Ocean. We are convinced that such a policy will help the Maldivians to remain resilient, prosperous, and strong so that it is able to work with our partners to maintain order in our ocean. Yet, to be able to meaningfully contribute to building and maintaining order in the Indian Ocean, the Maldives has to become a resilient nation. We have to remain a prosperous society, and we have to become a strong state that is able to work effectively with our external partners. President Saleh is already pursuing a clear and well-articulated set of strategies which will build just that sort of capacity in the Maldives. Our first priority is formulating a national development plan focused on building the resilience of local communities, addressing human security, and cultivating healthy lifestyles. At the same time, the government is also focused on cultivating good governance, ensuring environmental sustainability, and diversifying our economy. The National Development Plan takes into account the variety of challenges that the country faces, ranging from addressing geographic dispersion and rapid urbanization to combat the impacts of climate change. The plan is all-inclusive, aiming to leave no one and certainly no island behind. Tourism is the main propeller of the Maldivian economy, and therefore investing in and further expansion of the tourism sector are the key strategies to ensure inclusive and sustainable economic growth of the country. Further expansion in the tourism sector also requires considerable investment in key infrastructure, especially in enhancing connectivity. The National Development Plan envisions a national transport network that covers the entire archipelago with intermodal integrated transportation. This would ensure that all islands in the country are connected to basic services such as healthcare and education, but also to gain economic activities. The kind and level of investment required in transport and other infrastructure projects cannot be generated in a small economy like the Maldives. Foreign investment is needed to complement domestic resources, and technological and technical know-how needs to be transferred. This is where we seek support from our partners, especially financing which is affordable and accessible, and financing that do not aggravate external debt situation of the country, nor compromises our sovereignty. Of course, to generate foreign investment, political stability in the country is key. This is why the government is committed to reforming the judiciary and addressing the issues of corruption. These efforts will go a long way in affording a high degree of certainty to investors, credibility of institutions, and protection of investments. Global challenges affecting the Indian Ocean region will no doubt impact the Maldives too. The effects of some are worse than the others. But addressing all of them is necessary to enhance national resilience and in turn address our ability to withstand the waves of the ocean. Climate change is the most critical of such challenges. It is a global threat like no other. In the Maldives, addressing climate change and enhancing national resilience go hand in hand. For a small island developing state like the Maldives, climate change is one of the most demanding and dangerous threats we face. Our territorial security and our economy are affected by the impacts of climate change. The irony, as we are most probably aware, is that we contribute to the problem least, yet we have inadvertently become the canary in the coal mine. The countries of the Indian Ocean are among the countries that will be impacted the most and also the first. While climate change will spare no one, developing countries will suffer the impacts the most, especially as infrastructure is weak, poverty endemic, and access to basic services still developing. The Maldives is engaged with other members to the UNFCCC to find meaningful and sustainable solutions to this global challenge. We will be engaging at the United Nations Secretary General's Climate Summit later this month at the highest level, advocating with other global leaders to raise global ambition and expedite global action on climate change. Inherently connected to the lives and livelihoods of the people of the Maldives and the Indian Ocean is the health of our ocean. Today, ocean degradation caused by marine pollution, ocean acidification, and the like is causing lasting damage to our ocean. We must do all we can to stop this. Let the Indian Ocean region be leaders in this regard. Let us do what we can. I am proposing today to all of you, let us declare war against single-use plastic. Ladies and gentlemen, terrorism is another such challenge that needs cooperative effort. Terrorism knows no borders. Terrorists acts in one country has the potential to impact all countries, creating instability and chaos, resulting in erosion of order. In recent past, we have seen how terror acts conducted through the waves of the Indian Ocean and across the borders have impacted countries. Joint efforts are necessary to address this menace, and cooperation between countries, bilaterally, trilaterally, or multilaterally, is absolutely important. In addition to enhancing our relationship with our bilateral partners in the region, we are also enhancing our cooperation with international organizations and bodies working towards Indian Ocean security and development. For example, we are for the first time this November taking part in the meeting of the Indian Ocean Rim Association. We are also enhancing our engagement with multilateral efforts to preserve and protect our ocean and seas, including the negotiations to complete a legally binding instrument under UNCLOS on the conservation and sustainable use of marine biological diversity of areas beyond national jurisdiction in the UN Ocean Conference. These efforts to build the national resilience of the country, whether it is through investing in infrastructure, in the economy, or in the capacity of institutions, or enhancing global links, are contributing towards what President Salih's vision of making the Maldives an important player able to contribute to maintaining order in the Indian Ocean. Nature has endowed on the Maldives with that responsibility. We have been entrusted to safeguard these oceans and to ensure safe passage to everyone that travels across it. We take this responsibility seriously. Today, there is a strong alignment of political will towards greater cooperation and coordination across the Indian Ocean region to work together in a more collaborative fashion to ensure that countries in the region are able to build their national resilience in order for the countries in the region to contribute meaningfully and sustainably in maintaining strategic stability in the Indian Ocean region. We are working towards ensuring the safety, stability, and security of the Indo-Pacific region, and towards ensuring freedom of navigation, maritime security, and addressing the hindrances to that freedom, including piracy and organized crime. We look forward to continuing these discussions further in enhancing our development, our national resilience towards our shared common goal to save the Indian Ocean. I thank you.